is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin' Cowboys.
Streaming live from Dallas Cowboys training camp
In Oxnard, California.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
And welcome into Talkin' Cowboys on a Tuesday from Oxnard, California. Rob Phillips joined as always by Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus. A few yards down the way at our campout tent, Caden Gates, William Boykins producing. Well, practice. Once again, after an off day, we'll see the Cowboys back on the field right out here at 5:30 Central-ish. And pushing towards that first Cowboys preseason game at San Francisco on Saturday night. A lot to talk about as always. On the field, off the field, as it is August 6th.
Malibu.
Yeah, August 6th. You cleared that up for us yesterday. Doesn't really mean much on the Zeke front, the Zeke watch.
That was one of the best nuggets I think I've heard from camp of that. Mickey did a great job of getting to, and again, he just mentioned he asked a question. A veteran newspaper man asks a question, you get a good answer, and that's information. I mean, it's clearly that Zeke is Zeke's dug in here.
That's the reports this morning, right?
He's dug in. And you know what? If, and it's not my job or Mickey's job or your job to negotiate or do anything, but you know what? I could see his points. I could also see, and I hate riding the fence. I really, really do. But I could see the front office's point about how they've got so many guys in contracts and what they have to do. But I see his point too. He's very important to what they do offensively with this organization, and you can't change my view on that. That's just the former personnel guy in me. Job was always to find players, find elite players, use these elite players, help the coaches the best you can. It wasn't my job to sign them; it was my job to find them, and they found one of the best ones to ever play this game, in my opinion. If you look at how he is and what he does and what he means. But, the front office has to toe the line as well. So, good for them on that.
We might as well start there, Mick.
Yeah, because I was going to echo what he said. We're not sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
It's like I learned a long time ago, don't get involved in other people's money.
Absolutely.
And it's both sides, right?
There's no question about that.
And you can't sit there and go, okay, this side's right. Oh, no, this side's right.
Right.
That's their money.
Right.
You can just kind of report the news and – at some point they'll reconcile it. I still think it'll get done. I don't know why the agent wants to draw a line in the sand like that.
Yeah.
Well, you're speaking to a report this morning from ESPN. I believe it's Josina Anderson, Eric Dickerson involved in the reporting too.
His agent is Derek Dickerson's former agent is Rocky Arsenault, who is the same agent as
Zeke. Same agent
right.
that Zeke will not play this season without a new contract.
Right.
So
right.
that's coming from source reports. I imagine coming from Zeke's camp.
Yeah, absolutely. It's coming from his camp.
That's the word. So
and that's funny. They're saying they've known this since January because I don't think.
I don't think so.
And Zeke didn't know it since January.
I don't think so.
Right? Because if he knew that, then he would have been holding out the OTAs, the mini camp. He wouldn't have been doing the off-season workouts.
I feel this whole thing I feel bad for, and this is going to sound really strange because I'm usually the guy that's get rid of everybody guy. I feel bad for Jason Garrett here. I feel bad for Kellen Moore. I feel bad for those guys. Now, like Mickey says, maybe something will come together, but I feel bad right now of guys, hey, I'm the guy that's always yelling about, oh, do this, change this, change this. But in this case right now, I understand from a personnel man's standpoint about how to help the coach. And David Hellman gets on me all the time about apologizing to Dave Campo. Back when I was here working in scouting, I apologizing to him for not doing a good enough job for him.
Every time you see him.
Not finding enough players for him, And do I have my differences with Jason Garrett? I think he's been more than fair with me, though. I really do. So I'll have some compassion right now for these coaches because this is an elite football player. And Mickey's right. He was there in the OTAs. They were planning for him. Kellen Moore had some ideas. they're still planning on him playing. They're still running their offense the best they can. But if this thing does turn into a holdout and all of a sudden, though, you don't have that elite weapon to use at your disposal to help you maybe move the ball, to help you finish a game, then I understand next man up. But that means I don't have to like next man up. I mean, I want to make sure that I have the best players on the field.
I've would like to plan for next man up.
I would. I would like to have planned for that. And, and they drafted Ezekiel Elliott for a reason because of what he is. I applaud them at the time. I mean, I applaud him for what he's the one consistent thing that I know about this team. When he gets between those lines, he is going to give me everything he's got, And as a coach, as a front office guy, I want that. That's what I want. So unfortunately, though, they're having to live without that, and they're having to answer questions. And Stephen Jones and the front office is having to say this, and people are having to come back with this, and Zeke's camp's having to say that. It's just it's numbing. It really, really is numbing when you think about, though, what they're trying to accomplish. And this team, we've talked about how well this team has been built. This team has one of the best rosters in the National Football League.
Yeah.
And to take a huge piece away from it right now, I think is a terrible thing.
What's today? August 6th?
It's August 6th, which again
we have a month.
Is not an issue because the fifth-year option that the Cowboys picked up.
No, but I'm just saying.
No,
the first real game is not till a month away. That's why I asked what
I'm
day
just
it was.
resetting for folks that circled that date thinking, oh, well, maybe he's going to show up because he needs that accrued season. It's not a factor. He's not here. The holdout continues as far as we know.
Can I ask something then? Mickey, can I ask you a question? And I mean this in all respect. Am I wrong with my attitude about what I'm thinking about Zeke and Garrett and those guys?
No. You're absolutely right.
I hope that he plays. I hope he plays. I mean, I want to see Zeke play just from the standpoint of I think it gives this team the best chance to have the utmost success to not only help the coaching staff, but to also get to this team and help Jerry Jones in the front office and that.
It sounds like the other side Zeke's side is reacting to them signing Alfred Morris as if, okay, we'll show you.
Yeah.
And it still sounded like this was something they were going to do anyway.
Right.
Because they wanted him as the backup.
Yeah,
all the stuff they say about Tony Pollard is fine, but you're not going to hand Tony Pollard the ball 25 times.
No question.
Right?
No
10,
question.
15, but not 25.
Yeah, I don't think you view the Alfred Morris signing, I didn't, as some kind of message to Zeke. I think it's a situation where, okay, for the foreseeable future, he's not here. The Saints had some interest in him. We might as well go ahead and sign a guy that we have some familiarity with who we think can still play.
They protected themselves.
Sure. And the other part is, why don't they just be transparent? It's like, okay, a source told me that, it's the agent, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely the agent.
That's why I said most likely.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And Steven's really the only one that has been on the record and Jerry talking about this.
Absolutely.
I hadn't heard from Zeke, right?
No, absolutely not.
You've never said you never saw quote unquote Rocky Arsenault, right?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And so if you want to play this game, okay, fine, but it's a month away, and I hope Zeke understands that. What $224,000 a week means, because that's what he would forfeit if he did not play. And you never make that up. They don't sign a contract and say, oh, wait a minute,
we'll give it
you
back
missed
to you.
5 games, here's another $1 million for you. That don't work that way.
Right.
It never works that way.
Right.
You never make up money you lost.
Yeah.
And then they can sit there and go, okay, well, you want to play that game, then we're going to enforce the fine.
Yeah.
$40,000 a day. How many days has it been? 10?
Well, he's
day 11 today.
He's willing to lose the battle, because he's looking at it and saying, I'm 24 years old. If I play this thing out, then I'm 26, 27, and then what's my market? What's my market all of a sudden? That's where it's coming from. It's purely business.
Not if you sign a 5-year deal.
Well, yeah, but he's trying to accelerate the talks. He's trying to, like Brian's been saying it, he wants a seat at the table. He wants a seat with Dak and Amari Cooper to try to get something done. And
well,
DeMarcus Lawrence, who got his deal done.
Don't sign a 4-year deal when you're a rookie. You signed a contract.
He did sign a contract, and that's the point Jerry has made the first day of training camp that we're here is that we have 90 guys under contract, and if you're under contract, you're expected to be here. and he's late, and he's 12 days late at
Yeah,
this point now.
12, okay.
But he has an understanding. He knows how important he is to this team.
Yeah, I know, and that's their leverage.
No, that's their leverage.
Right.
If this was something that you could get by without, again, I'm a guy that likes Dak Prescott, but I have my concerns about Dak Prescott carrying this team by himself. And he's not totally carrying the team because he's got the offensive line and he's got Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb. But I worry about taking a big piece out of that. As much as I respect Dak, the leadership, all the things, I'm from like Mickey. I'm from that Missouri. You got to show me that you can. If he goes out there and Dak Prescott and they play without him, say for a couple of games or 3 games, and they find a way to be 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, whatever, then Ezekiel Elliott was not as big as need as I thought he would be, and Dak Prescott deserves everything that he gets. But I think there's a side of them, too, that would be okay with letting Dak Prescott play for the franchise tag. I really do. I mean, there's so much up in the air about this team when you look at the coaching staff, when you look at the contracts. This thing could go violently in another direction.
It's an all-in season.
It is an all-in season, and I think Ezekiel Elliott knows that, and I think that's why he's holding out on you right now.
Well, we'll see what happens. Obviously, he's not here.
Yeah.
They're going to continue to practice. And what's funny is, like, when we're on the set of the blue-white scrimmage a couple days ago, and we're talking about how the offense has struggled here and there. They'll win a drill. The defense will win a drill.
Right.
And Bill pointed out, well, Amari Cooper's missing from this offense. And I think one of us was like, by the way, number 21 hasn't been out here for 12 days. I mean, it's to your point.
Yeah.
He's such a huge part of this thing. And even in these practice situations, just the threat of him on the field is a game changer for this offense. And he knows that. And the Cowboys know that. I mean, Stephen Jones has come out and said, look, he is the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, they're not afraid to say that. It's just a matter of figuring out a way to get this deal done and fitting everything under one roof, as Jerry said. We got to be able to compete with all the contracts we need to get done. We need to field a full roster that can go win a championship, not a top-heavy roster with 3 big contracts and then – can we keep all these guys around these guys? That's the question, and that's what they've got to figure out. And I still think it's a business. It's not a personal thing at this point. I think it's just about business and trying to figure it out. The Cowboys have their line of thinking. Zeke has his.
I would hesitate to keep poking the tiger because Stephen Jones can get very stubborn.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
This is why I would. And Mickey's words should not ring hollow. Because Stephen Jones will dig in just as hard as Ezekiel Elliott will. And, maybe we've talked about this with Jerry. Maybe Jerry would be a little bit more, okay, let's do this. But Stephen, he clearly has his hand on the wheel. He has the, if you look at the way, I think a lot of stuff that him and Jerry and Stephen, and Will have all done a great job of building a quality football team, But Stephen Jones is, like I said yesterday, Stephen Jones will look at these agents in the eye and say, you're going to have to deal with me. You're going to deal with me. So just get ready for that. You're going to deal with me for a long time. So those are all things that those words need to be addressed as well.
Sitting for 2 years could be costly.
It could be.
Are you concerned that it could turn into a Le'Veon
No,
Bell type situation?
I'm just saying it's costly. Le'Veon Bell only had to sit 1 year.
Yeah.
He could sit 2 years.
Yeah.
Because they picked up a guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't show up, there's no guarantee.
We'll see if somebody trades for that contract, and that might. But you're to your point. You're right. It's money you don't get back. But I think that to me, it's worth it to him. In talking to some folks around the league and talking to people that know the situation, I was under the assumption that Zeke could not match the pot. Like I was using the poker analogy.
Yeah.
And I was told, no, that's not true. Zeke could match the pot. Now, is it going to be a costly pot? Yeah, it will be.
Because what's he do this year? About $3.5 million?
Absolutely,
3.8.
Yeah.
3.8.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And 9
for anybody.
And 9.
He's a little bit different when it comes to the financial aspect because I asked people about that. I said, do you feel like that Ezekiel Elliott is he broke that he has to and this 2-3 different guys go, no, he can withstand. It's not going to be easy, but he can hang in there. He could.
$3.8 million is $3.8 million.
Sure
I don't
it is.
care how much money you have.
Sure it is. Yeah.
$3.8 million.
It's
no
better.
one ever wins the lottery and says, you know what, I got $1 million. I don't need that.
But if you look at what he's made in signing bonus and salary since he's been in the league, I believe it's over $30 million. If I'm right about that.
Well,
so
$16 million. I think it was a $16 million signing bonus.
There you
if
go.
I remember.
So if that's that gives
plus
him a little,
whatever
right.
else.
But I don't disagree with you, Mickey, about this. It's money. It's three. You don't want to lose that. But to him, he's better to lose $3.5 million than $14 million that Le'Veon Bell lost. That's got to be his rationale. That I can withstand a $3.5 million hit, which Mickey, none of us really want to do that. I'm with you on that. But to him, on principle, might be very well worth that. That you know what, I'm gonna make you play games without me potentially. I'm gonna make you play games without me. And if you have success, I lost the bet. If you don't have success and everything goes south because I'm not part of the equation, then you will realize the mistake that you made. It's a gamble on both sides. A gamble on his side, a gamble on the front office side.
And it's a gamble within the locker room too, right?
Yeah.
In terms of he has close friends on this team. He's got a team that, like I've said earlier, is all in to try to win a Super Bowl this year. This roster, I know it's young. But it could look a lot different top to bottom next year with the number of free agents they have coming up next year.
When you get in a situation where now everybody's cool with what's going on with Zeke because, like Mickey said to open the show, you don't want to get in another man's money. It's cool now.
And that's fair.
But they get in they start playing the season without him and they lose games, then it becomes a little personal. Then it becomes like, okay, you turned your back on us. Whereas those people could, another player could turn the back on Zeke if he was here in camp. That's the way it works. I think everything is fine until Mickey gave you a deadline, 4 weeks. He gave you a 4-week deadline. If it gets into past those 4 weeks and we're not seeing him play, then you're going to see guys, I don't know publicly, but you will see body language that's not good. You'll see body language, and you'll start to hear some whispers that's not good.
Well, you saw that 25 years ago when you covered the dynasty.
Yeah, and
Charles Haley was throwing a trash can through the wall, right?
But
get Emmett signed.
I don't think Zeke didn't have a contract.
Yeah.
So
Emmett didn't have a contract.
Emmett didn't have a contract.
I know, it was a different situation.
That was different.
Right.
And then they had to find an excuse for getting off to a slow start, right?
Yeah.
And the excuse was Emmett wasn't there. You're going to blame poor Derek Lassick. Please.
Yeah.
What was the one game they lost? Was it the Buffalo game? It was 13-10 or something.
It was a strange game. It was a very weird score.
Score like that. Losing to it was Washington, the opener, I think. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
That crazy series, that things have always happened. But, yeah, and then Charles, with the helmet and all that stuff, and, okay, fine. But, and here's the other thing that I think they have to think about, and we'll get the results this year. Le'Veon Bell sat out, right?
Right.
So is he still Le'Veon Bell this year after missing an entire season? We don't know the answer to that.
Playing with a team that might not lead for him to be in Le'Veon Bell.
He got a better, his line is good.
Second-year quarterback. Yeah, we'll see because
what happens,
they come to Dallas.
What happens when you
we go to there? Excuse me.
I understand guys missing a year and coming back from injury. That's different.
Right.
But when you miss a year playing, you never get that year back. And do you change? Do you forget how much punishment you have to take? I always worried about that with coaches when they've set out 4 years and they say, "Oh, I want to coach again." Yeah. You're going to come back and work as hard?
Yeah, John Gruden.
Right? We'll see. Yeah. Will you do all the grinding you did to be successful to get to that point where you can walk away? And then you can say, "Oh, no, I miss it." I worry about those guys when they come back.
Can I ask you a question on a follow-up on that?
Yeah.
It's a different line of thought. Do you worry about Travis Frederick that way? Missing the game for a year?
I think a little bit. I think it's going to take him a while to get back in the saddle.
Yeah.
But at least it was an injury.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever you want to call it, an illness.
Sure.
And it took him a while. I don't worry about that. I think offensive linemen have different mentalities than the rest of us, right? Because they know every play they're going to get hit.
Sure.
There's no way around it. But I think you stay away. Now, are you the same person when you come back? And we'll find out with Javion.
Le'Veon Bell, yeah.
Let's take our first break. When we come back,
Le'Veon, I said.
Yeah, you did. No, you're good.
We'll take some questions off of Periscope.
We're
streaming live right now, talking Cowboys there, and a couple roster moves made yesterday, and ode to Rico. Next.
Oh no.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Welcome back to Oxnard, California. Rob Phillips, Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Bill Jones back to Dallas. We'll see him after camp breaks, and we return to the Star in Frisco. All right, we covered a lot of Zeke stuff first segment. We didn't get to a couple roster moves made.
Oh no!
On the off day, it's always an off day filled with house cleaning.
Right.
In the training camp, it's always an opportunity to work out, guys. Maybe tweak a couple things at the back end of your roster. And my goodness, it's the end of an era, fellas.
One that never got started.
Rico Gathers cut yesterday off the 90-man roster.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I think they're setting us up, Mickey and Rob, for some roster moves today.
Yeah.
They've got some guys coming in. Stephen Jones has been pretty adamant. I know he's told Mickey about this. They're a little light at corner. They're a little light in the offensive line. So they worked out some guys yesterday. They're going to work out some guys today, I've been told. And then we'll probably have a signing or two. So we're 2 roster spots down, right, Rob? We'd never signed anyone back for.
They're at 89.
They're 80.
Yes.
Oh.
Because Rico's release opens up a spot, but they also signed Tyvis Powell, defensive back, yesterday.
There you go. Okay, the Tyvis Powell. I'm sorry, they had 2 spots. So
they got one open spot.
So they're looking for an offensive lineman here. That's going to be the next string.
They need a guard.
Yeah,
they do.
So they needed another DB with Byron Jones out, C.J. Goodwin out, and Westry doesn't look like he's long for this world.
Yeah.
He's hurt, so he hasn't practiced since he returned from his, what was it, a one-day?
No, he had a good day. He had a day back where he actually
he did.
And then he got hurt. And then he got hurt.
Then he got hurt.
Then he got hurt.
Right,
yeah.
So, we'll see where that one goes. So they're down 3 guys there, and they're down the guards. They let Larry Allen Jr. go.
Right.
And then Zach's not practicing. and then Wickman gets hurt, and I was told he was out a month. So he's either going to get IR'd or he's going to get an injury settlement, one of the two. Because if he's out a month and they have to make the final cuts, there's no way they're going to keep him on the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
So they need another body in there that can play guard. So I would imagine that'll be the next move.
And Powell's a guy that's been in the league a couple years, 3 years, I believe. He's got some experience with Chris Richard in Seattle.
Right.
He was in San Francisco last year, started one game. He's kind of a combo safety corner guy. I believe he was in camp with Houston last week, and he got cut.
Okay.
So it's a depth signing. It's a guy with some experience that Richard is familiar with. So that makes sense there. All right.
So we shouldn't call him a camp body then.
No, he's a veteran
because he's got some skins on the wall.
He's a veteran who can help this team get through practice, and we'll see what he does in preseason. On to Rico.
Yeah, that's the other part. Before we get to Rico, you mentioned preseason.
Yeah.
You got to play a game.
Yes.
And you got guys that aren't going to play, so you need enough bodies to absorb 4 quarters of football if you're not going to play your starters right away.
Right.
So now that's when your depth comes into play. But Rico, huh?
Surprised?
Not at all.
Saw the writing on the wall?
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that they moved on.
And they moved on, and you know, and it's like, okay, enough's enough.
Right.
But it also gives him an opportunity. So, you know, if somebody thinks they can make something out of him, he gets an opportunity to go somewhere else. So yeah, you know, it just didn't work. It just wasn't working. And you know, this Cody McElroy, you know, I think
wasn't terrible in the
he's
blue
a practice squad guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and see, he's kind of maybe the same line of what you just cut, but you know, they just didn't want to do anything more with Rico. I mean, they felt like that they didn't see the year to year of him getting any better, and you know, they're like, okay, let's just move on. And you know, and I'm okay with that. I mean, they tried. They used the 6th-round pick. People were giving them grief about, oh, there's another wasted pick. The 6th round, you're looking for traits. What's Rico's trait? He's big. He's big. He you know, it's worth it to try and develop him a little bit, and he just do it. Now, in great tradition of Cowboy tight ends that get released here, he'll go sign somewhere else and then be an All-Pro. So we'll see how that.
We'll find out today if he got claimed by somebody.
Exactly.
You know, he played in 15 games last year, 3 catches, 45 yards. I think, you know, with Witten back and this being a deep roster, excuse me, the idea of keeping 4 tight ends probably not realistic. I mean, it's possible,
right?
But if you're keeping a fullback too. Obviously, they like the development of Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz.
Right.
I think they were ready to make a move. And Cody McElroy, I guess, is somebody we can keep an eye on here.
Sure.
You want to call him Rico 2.0?
Yeah.
I think he's 26 years old. He has really never played football up until 1 year of small college football.
Right.
He's really a baseball and a basketball player, but he's a guy with athletic talent that they're going to try to develop here in camp.
Yeah.
26, you're right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right.
Who was the tight end that they let go? Because he didn't want to play tight end, and then he went on. Was it Dwight? It wasn't Dwight Clark, was it? There was a tight end when you just said that about in the true history of Cowboy tight ends, they go somewhere else.
Oh, Todd Christensen.
Todd Christensen.
Yeah. Went to the Raiders.
They wanted him to be a tight end. He wanted to be a wide receiver.
He wanted to be a wide receiver, and then he went. Went on, did great things.
I had Dwight Clark on my mind.
That's okay. Dwight Clark's from the same era. Is it possible to use Jaylon Smith as an edge rusher in certain packages, guys?
An edge rusher.
An edge rusher.
Not rushing from.
Not just rushing linebacker, but an edge rusher. Mickey, hand down, man down.
I don't think you want to do that. He's got too much speed to put there. That limits his ability. I don't think he's good with a couple steps and a head of steam, but I don't know about hand on the ground.
He's also
250.
He weighs 248.
Yeah,
that's a light edge rusher there. It's a good question.
See, I like the question because I like how well he rushes the passer. But Mickey's right. You're not going to put his hand down. Where Jaylon Smith really helps is when, and we saw it the other day, because he got Dorrance Armstrong home on a rush where he attacked. It was Zach Martin and Lyle Collins, and he attacked those two so hard that it occupied him, and it got it got Armstrong home, where Armstrong had to duck so he didn't hit Dak. But that's what you could get from the fact that he plays with so much violence. I see why they asked the question, because he plays. But I don't know if you want his hand down and then him having to do a bunch of moves.
Like somebody can engage him.
He's not a pass rusher.
He needs to attack you and shock you and then kind of work off you is the kind of how I would describe him attack. You let him go straight ahead into the pocket. Don't put him on the edge of the pocket. Put him straight ahead in the pocket, and he's going to have better success.
He does play with violence. He thumps somebody. Yeah. He thumps somebody pretty good during the blue-white.
Oh, he thumps a lot of people.
You know, and with him and Sean Lee, those are two linebackers they've got that really excel rushing the quarterback.
Yeah.
And you can rush both of them. You can rush one, drop the other.
Plus, you can't
it's a good
plan.
combo.
You can't plan on double teaming him, because what happens if you say, okay, we're going to double him?
Right.
What if he doesn't come? Now you got two guys on nobody.
Right.
So with him, with a running start, or is he coming? Is he not coming? I think it's a better weapon than putting him on the line and let some Tyron Smith get his hands on him and lock him up.
Right.
What else you got, Brian?
Yeah, people have asked. Well, that's probably not a fair question, so I'm not going to answer it. But people, there's a lot of people having discussions on Periscope. I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, fire them. I mean, it's a ton of people out there. They're all kind of fighting with each other.
Let them argue amongst themselves.
Yeah, they're arguing. They're arguing.
Is it a chat room right now?
No, they are fighting among themselves.
Don't fight, guys.
Have at it.
Okay, well, how about this though? And this is from Tito, and it's just he says that Zeke is the next DeMarco Murray. Is that
in terms of too many mileage, too much mileage?
Well, it's maybe that it's a thing where if you were to pay him, then
it's an age difference.
The decline, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
Age difference.
I wouldn't compare the two at all.
But no comparison.
But don't you think that's what he's looking at? That if I get 2 more seasons of 300 carries on my plate, and I do hit the market, it's going to be, well, then what am I worth at this point, as opposed to when I'm 24 years old and a rushing champ.
But they want to sign him.
Yeah.
They would sign him today.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to go from his side.
I know,
what he's
but
trying
they
to do.
want to sign him, though. That's the thing.
You're right, they do.
It's not like they didn't want to sign Murray because they didn't want an old running back on their hands 2 years later.
How old was DeMarco when he left for Philly?
He was 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you signed him to a 5-year deal, he's finishing it at 32. So, and he didn't play 5 more years, did he? Or if he did, it wasn't a high-quality 5 years.
The other thing about DeMarco, I think you could argue Zeke's a more durable guy than DeMarco was. He had some injuries when he was here.
Yeah, he's built different.
He's built differently.
Right.
I don't know if he was built like a
I just
like
don't.
Every down guy.
That's a bad comparison because the age difference was significant. And that's why they didn't re-sign him. You know, they might have re-signed him to a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, and Philadelphia gave him 5 and then cut him 1 year later.
Here's a question. Makes you think a little bit. If you look at overall, which team has better weapons in the division, Dallas or Philly? Just weapons. If
we keep counting Zeke.
Count Zeke.
Oh, I think the Cowboys do.
Rob?
Don't you?
Yeah, I agree. If you went running back for running back, I think Dallas wins there. Offensive lines are very similar to how they would go. I mean, that's not a weapon. I guess it's a weapon if you can use your offensive line. Quarterback?
I'm going with Dak based on durability.
On durability alone.
Yeah, and number of games won.
So why do you think Philadelphia, everybody's picking them to win the East?
They're a good team.
Yeah,
I don't know if everybody's picking them.
I think if you win.
I haven't seen one that hasn't.
Probably the coaching staff. Because the coaching staff has, and again, I don't mean that as no slam to Garrett. I'm just saying that guy has won a Super Bowl.
The nature of the league, too. You know the stat. When's the last time somebody repeated?
2004.
I mean, it's a fluctuating division. Always is.
They're playing that game.
I wonder if they're going to regret paying Carson Wentz,
as opposed to Nick Foles.
Just anybody. I mean, I'm wondering if they're worried about that.
He's a great player. I mean, great talent. Great talent.
But you know what? If you count the years he still had on his contract,
they're better at tight end, by the way.
All that
all
that talk about him making 32 million, it comes out to 27.
Yeah.
because the base salary still counts.
See, that's what we need to happen. We need a big old high number for these guys, but Mickey does his research, and it's actually only the third or fourth best contract. I think that's what the Cowboys are trying to do, don't you?
Yeah.
They don't want to be the top dog in the thing, but they'll give you an opportunity to be in the mix.
Give you a fair top 5, top 7 contract.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing about the division. Don't sleep on Washington, okay?
Yeah.
Their
defense is getting better.
They have a terrific defensive front that's going to challenge you.
Yes.
I just look at that Week 2 game, and everybody's talking about Philly.
Yeah.
And maybe I have visions of RG3 with Dwayne Haskins coming in. I mean, there's a chance he can come in and they make things, he has an offensive-minded head coach. Maybe he has a terrific rookie season.
Right.
This division's not going to be easy. That's why this Zeke thing is a little unsettling because, again, you don't want him missing games.
Well, that's why it's good the Cowboys have them early.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna start a rookie quarterback.
You know what? If it was me in Washington, Jay Gruden's another one of those coaches that's probably looking at win or do something else kind of a guy. But I'd go ahead and start that young quarterback. I would. I just go ahead and start the journey. And if it works out, you might save your job. If it doesn't, then
you still might save your job because that might be the reason you look at it and say, okay, well, I tried with this guy. Yeah.
People want to know here: has Taco done enough to make the team as of right now?
He's got a guaranteed base salary, so yeah.
You think they'll keep him just because of the salary?
It's like $3 million, 3 something. Off the top of my head, that's a lot to burn when you're trying to sign all these guys.
Okay, let's take the. This is a loaded question, Mickey. I'm sorry.
No, that's why I answered it that way because I don't know that he has done.
Yeah, that's
enough.
what I'm saying. If it came down to you had to keep him because you don't want to eat $3.5 million, you make that decision. But just based on take away that money part. And ask, has he done enough? Has he shown you enough currently? And we haven't played in these preseason games yet, but has he done enough in practice to make you feel like, oh, the rise is coming? Now he's had some good days.
We talked to Rod Marinelli about him, and he said he was impressed with the way he's practicing. And to me, it's not just his production out there. It's the motor. It's all of those things because that was one of the things they talked to him, and he talked to Taco about in the offseason. This is what we expect from you. Man talk.
Yeah.
Rod wants you to carry yourself in a certain way out there.
I just wish it would look like he was having fun out there.
He doesn't smile at all. Everything is a grind to him, because
we talked to him.
He's got so many eyes on him, and nobody ever says anything kind about it.
And we talked to him about this last year too, and he acknowledged, I'm kind of a laid back guy, and I give off maybe a certain impression. It's not accurate necessarily, Like I think he's one of those people that maybe you can't necessarily just read the body language only.
I want to see him make a play and celebrate. I want him to take the football and throw it over the roof.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
There's guys like Malik Collins that don't, he's not D-Law in terms of personality.
Right.
Yeah, but he looks like he's having fun out there.
Yeah. That's
which I said throw over the roof.
But you're right, Brian. He's been under a microscope for 3 years now. Yeah. I mean, there's not there's a lot of criticism.
The glare has been very bright on him.
Yeah.
They're very bright.
And we forget he was 28th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
What are you going to find?
Who's his main competition to make this team then? Jelks? Kerry Hyder?
Yeah, those guys.
Joe Jackson.
There's competition.
Because Dorrance Armstrong's on this team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that too.
I think you're right.
Speaking of making this team, Periscope would like to know, is there a possibility that Donovan Alumba could be the 6th corner? If you went 6 corners, 4 safeties. Who would Donovan Alumba have to beat out?
He's on my team.
Who's the 5th one?
I'm trying to think let's go through them.
Who's the 5th?
I'll go through them for you.
I'll give you 4.
I'll give you 4.
Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we do this on the other side? How about that? How about we tease? We're going to break down the defensive back depth chart for you next
around the corner
on Talkin' Cowboys.
Whoa, I like that.
If you're like me and you love, if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper Soft Coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker 4JB faves plus a full-size lip balm for just $10 with free shipping at getjackblack.com and use that code Cowboys.
Like that Jack Black stuff.
I like that liner. That was smooth, Mick.
Yeah, but it wasn't any fun because you guys couldn't make fun of me.
Yeah.
People
I was
missed that.
I was listening. Good Jack Black. Get you some. All right, let's go through these cornerbacks, Rob, if that's okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, you got Awuzie on this team?
Yes. I think so.
Jordan Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, count along with me, boys.
That's
How about C.J. Goodwin?
I think he's borderline. I think you better get back on the field real quick.
I'm leaning towards yes because of special teams.
All right, keep a number in mind what you're doing here. Anthony Brown?
Yes.
Yes.
Byron Jones?
Yes.
Mike Jackson Sr.?
Yeah, there's your trouble for Olumba.
Or Goodwin.
Yeah.
Or Goodwin.
Or Goodwin?
He's making some plays out here, isn't he?
Yeah.
See, that's a tough one. That's tough. They like him, too.
See, there's going to be a couple guys on this team. Noah Brown could be another one, like C.J. Goodwin, that you really don't see it out here right now. And then all of a sudden we're going to get to final 53, and it's going to be C.J. Goodwin's on there and Noah Brown's on there for special teams.
Goodwin was a guy, I want to say he broke his wrist or his forearm, a bone or something.
First game he played.
He missed some games, and they really were like disappointed in that because of what he gives them on special teams.
They put him on the bring back injury guy, didn't they?
He came back. He came back for the playoffs, I think.
So I should know this. What's his injury right now? Has he got like a hamstring or something?
I don't know.
He dresses up, but he never runs or anything.
He never. And Westry haven't been out there the last couple days.
Yeah, I mean he hasn't practiced. I think I've seen him once or twice early when we were here. It might have been through that walkthrough period that we were the acclimation period that was.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't doing anything.
Kind of like McGovern. Who
I need
his
to find
jersey
that out.
on,
Yeah, I need to find that out. But it's going to come down to him. Like if you want Donovan Olumba on this team. Is it going to come down to Mike Jackson?
We need to see Olumba against the top corners. When he makes plays, it seems like it's always the second team offense.
Man, he had a heck of a day the other day though. And then he got on a fumble the other day that was caused by by the safety that nobody ever talks about.
And it was a fumble, right?
Yeah, my little guy Donovan Wilson.
Yeah,
because
Donovan Wilson had a little nice practice.
I was standing there and I said, "Oh, I'm going to throw the red flag."
Yeah, we punched it out. Punched it out.
Well, maybe that's something the coaching staff looks at. You know, bump him up, give him some first-team reps. You don't have Byron Jones in camp right now anyway.
We're going to find out in preseason.
And the games,
right?
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
Because I don't know how everybody else is going to play their guys.
Yeah.
If you're going to play first team or not. But he's going to be out
there.
This
is where Donovan Olumba. I kind of thought Donovan Olumba was one of those guys that's going to always be in position but never make plays, kind of a clapper, one of those guys. But he's proven me wrong. But I just wonder if we've seen it with Lance Lenore. Remember, Lance Lenore looks like all Valley Ranch, and then all of a sudden you get him in a game and you're like going, what did he just do?
Lights are too bright.
Yeah, lights are too bright. So, I know there's a lot of folks cheering for Donovan Olumba. I know there are.
I'm raising my hand right now.
Yeah. I know, because you had lunch with him every day at the Star.
He never missed.
No, but you know
guy works out by himself.
He does.
Chris Richard has put a lot of time in him.
Yeah, there's no
to try
question.
to develop him.
There's no question.
And you're seeing it out here.
I wonder if Chris will stand in that meeting and fight for him over C.J. Goodwin. I wonder. Now this is where all of a sudden we look at the special teams
it'll
coach.
Be special teams. Yeah.
And the special teams coach will say, "Well, listen, can you promise me that Donovan Olumba will do this? We'll cover kicks. We'll cover punts." Will be a blocker on the outside. Will you promise me that? And if he is, then you got to fight.
I think they're starting to listen to Keith O'Quinn a lot more.
Yeah.
I think when he first got the job, I think everybody thought, oh well, he just they did the easiest thing and promoted him. But I think his voice is starting to get a little louder.
Well, he got tired of finishing 24th in all those categories. He needs that kicking situation, though. That guy missed that kick so badly the other day.
Got to keep track of it today.
Got to keep track of it today.
If he's kicking today.
Yeah. But we said it's going to come down to we think Jackson's going to make the team, right?
He would be 5, right?
Right. But they're playing Deku. They're playing Deku out there too. But Deku hasn't been
seen anything.
Yeah, Deku
He's kind of a safety, isn't he? More than a corner.
But
they keep putting him in
They
the
keep
slot.
playing him at slot. Yeah.
Can you keep 6 corners? I guess. Yeah,
I am.
Well,
6 and 4. George Aloka's not on my team right now, guys. I'm sorry if I'm.
He's running third team, right?
He's third team, and he's not first team on any of the special teams
right.
I've seen when they line up.
It's been Darian Thompson ahead of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
My Aggie, Donovan Wilson as well, right?
Yeah. Well, Kayvon Frazier.
Kayvon Frazier. Yeah.
Kayvon Austin. Tavon.
They're all there.
Lavon.
Okay, so it's a TBD on Mr.
Let me ask you this, guys. Okay, we were kind of Brian brought us touting Luke Gifford.
Yes.
Does Luke Gifford find a way on this team? Let's go through the linebackers.
Brad Shams, man.
I think it could come down to him and Chris Covington, right?
Do you think that's the matchup?
As a backup linebacker, special teams guy.
I think Covington on this team.
You think so? Got a pick the other day. Nice pick.
Yeah.
In team.
See, that's another one. Can you keep 7 linebackers?
That's going to be a problem.
So one of those spots will go long because of special teams. You'll just say he's a special teams guy, right?
Where are we going to steal that spot from? We're going to go 3 tight ends, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go 2 quarterbacks?
Yeah.
How many offensive linemen?
You could go with 8, but you probably won't. You probably go with 9, right?
9 or 10, right?
Yeah.
Well, hard to find. Offensive and defensive linemen are hard to find during the season.
Yes.
So I'm always going long at those spots because I don't want to have to go out and try and find a guy off a practice squad.
Well, let's break it down right now.
But remember, Gifford.
He's on all the special teams.
He's on all the first special teams.
All the special teams.
First.
Yeah,
all the special
Covington also missed some time early in camp, too.
Right, but Covington's on it also, though.
Yeah, well.
Boy, that's what the games are going to come down to.
Yeah.
That's where the games, I mean,
we act like preseason.
Doesn't matter.
But it matters to these type of
guys. It
guys.
absolutely
right?
matters to these guys.
It's really important to them.
So who are your backup offensive linemen then at this point that you'd keep?
Fleming.
Well, you got Fleming.
And then you're going to have to figure out what you do with McGovern.
Looney.
See, I think they're going to carry McGovern.
We got a mailbag question about him today.
Man, this is tough.
I don't know.
They
how
put him on
IR.
IR.
They could IR him and then bring him back in 9 weeks.
Yeah.
I think see where they're at.
See where they're at.
Save a roster spot and you don't lose a guy that you can, because it doesn't sound.
This
you don't see him out there running, do you?
No, I don't see. I mean, you run into people and you ask the McGovern and they're like, It's unfortunate. He's just not strong enough. His ability, his injury does not allow. He hasn't been strong enough to go out there and practice, and they're not going to put him out there until he is strong enough.
Right.
So when is that? It could be after camp, and then by that time you're going to maybe need a roster spot.
You know, and maybe you decide, well, he really does need surgery, and then surgery means you're done.
Yeah.
With that injury.
With a pec.
With a pec. So, but somehow they're going to want to keep his rights, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, how many when we counted Looney, Redmond?
Is Redmond for sure?
I'm giving Redmond the nod because he could play guard and center. I know that's the same thing as Joe Looney.
Joe, yeah.
But,
Fleming.
Okay, let's count them
who
up.
Else?
You got your 5 starters.
Right.
And I'm just going down the list.
Looney.
Redmond would be 6.
Okay.
Looney would be 7. Suafilo would be 8. Right? Is Suafilo the bubble guy on the offensive line?
I think so.
He's your first-team left guard right now.
I agree with Mickey. I think he is a bubble guy.
I'm saying if everything's equal, like Zach's good to go.
If they had to carry, if they feel they have to carry Connor McGovern, I'm not sure that Suafilo's on this team. I'm not.
Only if McGovern can play.
Can practice.
Because of the position flex of the other guys?
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's another tackle they would keep,
Mitch
right?
Hyatt?
I'll tell you what, Mitch Hyatt has had his days where he's looked okay.
And then he's had days.
But okay, what about Brandon Knight, moving him at guard? He's playing guard and tackle.
That's out of necessity.
Yeah, but he hasn't been terrible. But we'll see in these games. I keep saying we'll see in these games.
We got 4 games.
I know, but the thing with Brandon Knight, he looks better at guard than he does at tackle. But could he play? Could they use him as that guard and tackle guy? Could he be the 10th guy that they don't want to lose? See, that's where maybe you're right. Maybe it's 9 guys.
I knew I needed my pen to add up stuff.
Maybe it's 9 guys. That's where I think it's 9 guys. It's not 10. Brian wants to keep 10. Brian doesn't have a 10th guy.
Yeah, no.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you keep Suafilo.
Yep.
And don't even get me started on the D-line.
Don't get me started on the.
I have
don't get me
no
started
idea
on the,
that's going to shake out.
Don't get me started on the receivers. I think Nick Eatman's coming up with a list of that today.
Stay
right?
tuned for a top 10 on the wide receiver.
On the wide
depth
receiver,
chart.
yeah.
Like 10 of them?
Yeah, like the
how
top,
they're ranked.
Yeah, how you rank the top 10 receivers in camp right now. Our
making the team.
Our opinion.
All right, let me ask you this. To make the team, we've got just about a minute. To make the team, Noah Brown, yes or no?
You know my answer.
He's in the Jeremy Mincy category. Just I don't know what you have against the young man.
Think about it. In the end, I'm right all the time.
Yeah. Oh.
Are you sure about that?
Have I missed on a guy?
They love Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Because he can play special
but
teams.
But he can't play now. He's coming off that knee surgery.
Zach Martin ain't playing right now. Is that a problem?
No. I'll give him
Sean
a
Lee?
pass.
No. All right.
Zach Martin can block. I don't need my wide receiver to block.
The way the rules are now, you
give
don't
me one to run.
Yeah.
You can't come back and crack back anymore.
Exactly.
That's a good point, Mick. All right, we'll continue this tomorrow.
Let's end on that good point.
All right, we got a practice to cover today. They're back to practice. 5:30-ish Central Time. Stay tuned to DallasCowboys.com for all Brian's recap, our recaps, and we'll have practice to talk about today.
Yeah, we got training camp live today,
There's
too.
still another minute on this clock here.
Yeah,
be ready.
Well, Caden's taking charge, all right?
Boy, Caden, all right, running the ship.
All right, the break's up next. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!